Good morning. We're just going to do a quick sound check first. The people in the very top row, if you can hear me clearly, please wave your hands. Okay. Good morning. My name is Darrell Whitley, and it's my honor to serve as the Interim Associate Dean for the College of Natural Sciences. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the college, I'd like to welcome you to our Spring 2023 commencement ceremony. Please stand if you're able as the Air Force ROTC Wing Walker Honor Guard presents the colors and join our Colorado State Brass Quintet in singing of our national anthem. Please remain standing. We would like to begin our ceremony this morning with an acknowledgement of the origins of the land on which our university was built. Colorado State University acknowledges with respect that the land we are on today is the traditional and ancestral home of the Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Ute nations and peoples. This was also a site of trade, gathering, and healing for numerous other tribes. We recognize the indigenous peoples as original stewards of this land and all the relatives within it. As these words of acknowledgement are spoken, the ties nations have to their traditional homelands are renewed and reaffirmed. CSU is founded as a land-grant institution, and we accept that our mission must encompass access to education and inclusion, and significantly, that our founding came at dire cost to the Native nations and peoples upon whose land this university was built. This acknowledgement is the education and inclusion we must practice in recognizing our history, responsibility, and commitment. Please be seated. I now wish to introduce you to the members of the platform party and recognize them for the roles they play in making CSU a great university. I will ask each person to rise and remain standing throughout the introductions. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. In the back row, our department chairs, University Distinguished Scholar and University Distinguished Professors. Dr. Lori Stargell, Chair of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. Dr. Deborah Garrity, Chair of Biology. Dr. Matthew Shores, Chair of Chemistry. Dr. Craig Partridge, Chair of Computer Science. Dr. Alexander Hupke, Interim Chair of Mathematics. Dr. Jacob Roberts, Chair of Physics. Dr. Don Rojas, Chair of Psychology. Dr. Haonan Wang, Chair of Statistics. Dr. Nancy Levenger, University Distinguished Teaching Scholar in Chemistry. Dr. Debbie Kranz, University Distinguished Professor in Chemistry. Dr. Leroy Poff, University Distinguished Professor in Biology. And in the front row, Dr. Sean Bingham, Director of the University Honors Program. Dr. Tom Siller, Interim Vice President for Undergraduate Affairs. Amy Parsons, President of Colorado State University. Dr. Liz Koneski, Director of Privacy Research at Meta and today's commencement speaker. Dr. Simon Tavner, Interim Dean. Dr. Lisa Disleski, Associate Dean for Undergraduate Programs. Dr. Santiago De Pietro, Research Associate Dean. Captain Mark Chaka, Assistant Professor of Military Science, Army ROTC. Major Jason Blanting, Associate Professor of Aerospace Studies, Air Force ROCT. Let us recognize these extraordinary leaders. Please be seated. Our college is committed to providing the highest quality of education for our undergraduates and graduate students. The strength of the college and its program is due in part to the commitment and dedication of our faculty. I have the honor of serving with a wonderful group of dedicated scholars, teachers, and mentors, and I know firsthand the great satisfaction and pride that they feel in the accomplishment of our graduates today. Will our faculty members attending today please rise or raise your hand so that we may recognize and thank you for your talents and dedication. Please be seated. And now I have the pleasure to introduce you to Dr. Simon Tavner, Interim Dean of the College of Natural Sciences.
It is my great pleasure to welcome our graduates and all who have assembled here to the College of Natural Sciences commencement ceremony. Class of 23, you have long anticipated this day, some with eagerness, some with anxiety, some with a complicated mix of both. But whatever you are feeling here this morning, you deserve to hold a keen sense of pride. To get to this point, you have demonstrated perseverance, resilience, drive, and focus. You earned the seat that you are sitting in this morning, and we are all here to congratulate you and to applaud your accomplishments. At this time, I am pleased to introduce our commencement speaker, Dr. Liz Koneski. Dr. Koneski is the Director of Privacy Research at Meta, formerly known as Facebook, where she leads a team of researchers who aim to improve the relationships between users and technology. To complete their work, this team uses research tools from a myriad of fields, including statistics, psychology, communications, and anthropology, to name but a few. Dr. Koneski received the Bachelor of Science in Psychology with a minor in Business from CSU in 2009. During her time here as an undergraduate during her time here, an undergraduate social psychology course piqued her interest in the study of relationships. Through an opportunity to conduct research alongside CSU faculty members, she further explored how our social interactions and relationships affect our physical well-being. This led her to pursue a master's and doctorate degree in human development and family studies at the University of Texas at Austin. Now, as the director of 2 teams, including Facebook app sharing and privacy, Dr. Koneski uses her foundation in psychology on a daily basis at work. I'm excited to invite Dr. Koneski to come and address the 2023 graduating class. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us.
Good morning, soon-to-be graduates. I'm Liz Koneski. I'm a proud CSU alumna, and I'm honored to be here with you Rams today to celebrate and commemorate your tremendous accomplishment. Let's not let the moment pass you by. Sometimes when we're excited or looking forward to something or nervous for something, we don't pause and just acknowledge and enjoy the present. So please take a second to take it all in. Look around you. Look at the friends and family who are here today, or those who might be here with you in spirit from afar, and think of the support they've provided you over the years to achieve this goal of graduating from college. And to all the moms, including my own, happy Mother's Day. Look up at your leaders, professors, staff who have helped shape your experience at CSU these last few years. Look around at your fellow graduates who have worked hard alongside you and put in the hours at the library or the dorms or the coffee shops or on Zoom calls to study together. Look down at this fun regalia you're wearing. There are likely to be few times in your life when you're required to dress up in pointy hats, so take that in. Now take a deep breath and think of you, of all the hard work you've put in to get yourself here to this finish line, and starting line in a way. You did it, you overcame challenges, you adapted to new environments, and you forged ahead when you weren't sure of your footing, and you put in the hours, energy, hard work, bravery to graduate today. So bask in the glow of that accomplishment. You should be very, very proud of yourselves. Let's give a round of applause. But in addition to pride, I imagine that you might also be feeling some trepidation and uncertainty for what's next for you, now, later, far into the future. You might be asking yourself, what is life going to look like? How on earth am I going to know I'm making the right choices to get down the path I ultimately need and want? And having the benefit of hindsight, I'd like to tell you a little bit about my journey since graduating from this very College of Natural Sciences about 15 years ago. I certainly do not have all the answers for you, but I can share some things I've learned along the way that may be of use to you in the future adventure you're about to go on. When I arrived at CSU, I wasn't sure what I wanted to major in. I knew I loved science and business, but I wasn't sure where to hone in. And it felt like an overwhelming decision that maybe some of you experienced too. Then during one of my first courses in psychology, I remember a moment early on. I was astonished that you could apply science to understand people, the ways that we think and feel and behave and relate to one another. I remember staying after class and asking my professor, Dr. Carla Gingrich, more and more about the material and about what careers in psychology could be like. She helped by offering resources so I could do my own research and find my own answers, and she connected me with other professors to support me as well. I started working in several research labs with Drs. Jennifer Harmon and Evelyn Barayo. They taught me the value of collecting rigorous scientific data, that there are answers out there if you're curious enough to ask the right questions, interrogate data, and carefully make conclusions that can bring science forward, but also, when applied, improve people's understanding of themselves, others, their environment, and ultimately our lives. Although perhaps I didn't realize at the time, I think this is when I learned that I could apply a form of science to my life. As I was close to graduation, like all of you, with my bachelor's in psychology, I knew I wanted to continue down this line of study, but I wasn't sure enough of myself yet to know exactly what I wanted to do. Should I start working, go to graduate school, for what exactly? Should I stay in Fort Collins in Colorado where my friends and family were, or was it time to explore? And although I was anxious about the possibilities in making the wrong choice, I decided to do what I did best, collect some data. I started talking to CSU grads who were in different graduate programs or in different fields of psychology. I talked to my friends and family in different states. I ended up applying for jobs at research labs around the country so that I could have some more time to collect data and figure out what I wanted to do further, and ended up working at the University of Texas at Austin for a few years, where I fell in love with social psychology, the study of how people relate to one another, especially how we build and maintain relationships. It was through this time of life data collection, if you will, that I was able to reach another aha moment. I attended a lecture from a professor studying how relationships impact our physical health, and the material was fascinating, the speaker was captivating, and I knew the path I wanted to take. I had to go to graduate school and study these things. I had to work with this professor, Dr. Tim Loving, and I had to become a professor and do what he did. I started a PhD program with him as my mentor the following year. I loved my 5 years in graduate school. Such deep learnings, such close friends, such supportive teachers and mentors, as well as the tough stuff, lots of long hours and hard work, planning and executing research, writing academic papers and grants, advanced science and math courses, and mentoring undergraduate students as well. So there I was, training so hard to become a professor, my dream, right? But toward the end of grad school, I found myself questioning again. I felt a bit lost. Am I sure I want to be a professor? Do I really even know what it's like? Am I going to be good at it? And I realized I needed to question myself. Was this still really my dream, and why? This was a scary set of questions, challenging myself on decisions that I've made. And I realized that I may come to the same conclusion and stay on the same path, but I needed to be sure. So I asked questions, I collected data, I sought support. I started interviewing professors at different types of universities. I also started asking questions of the few scientists I knew at the time who had gone into government, business, the applied sector. I tested out several activities that were from these newly discovered career paths for me. I taught my own courses at different universities. I conducted research in the community. I wrote research grants to secure funding for my lab, and I did science internships in the business world. I enjoyed and liked a lot of people's answers and a lot of these activities, but I loved another aha moment. I loved the ability to use science to impact people's day-to-day lives. I loved leveraging my scientific skill set to solve applied business problems. This is what was right for me. In other words, I wanted to take what so many incredible professors were doing and had taught me, their theories, research methods, and conclusions, and apply them outside of an academic setting. So after gaining my PhD in 2016, I started working at Meta, the parent company of Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger, and more. Probably some tools that many of you use, as a researcher tasked with understanding and improving users' experiences. Like my time of discovery and data collection at CSU and afterward, I was again in a time of rapid learning. I had to learn how to think about things I had expertise in, psychology, relationships, but as applied to technology and social media. At first, I was very unsure of myself. How do I frame questions outside the lab? How do I make sure that my research is used by my colleagues? But as time went on, I realized I already had the formula to succeed in this new environment for me. In order to drive meaningful conclusions, I needed to do what I'd learned right here at CSU, to curiously ask questions, rigorously collect and analyze data, and then use those things to shape, in this case, people's ability to connect with one another and with information online. I realized, too, that I probably needed to seek support from mentors, just like I had done here at CSU. And in due time, I was conducting research that ultimately improved people's experiences with Meta's apps, which in turn positively influences their connections with other people and even contributed to their livelihoods. Since then, there have been many times in my career where I have felt like a fish out of water, as I did when I was first figuring out my major here at CSU or what to do after graduation. I felt out of my depth when I first became a manager of other researchers. I was so scared for my first press interview or when I had to present research to the CEO. I was incredibly nervous when I first conducted research in countries that I had never been to. But I kept anchoring on what I knew. how to be a scientist. In the time since, I've moved to San Francisco, Boston, Austin, a tiny town in Maine, and now back here to Colorado and Denver. I've traveled to 30 countries. I've kept friends from CSU and made many new ones from different places and different walks of life. And at each stage of my journey, it was not the case that I had it all figured out, at all. I felt lost and confused many times. Should I move again? Should I become a manager? Should I start a nonprofit organization? Should I stay in this relationship? And although the answers weren't always easy to arrive at, I simply did what I know how to do. I asked questions, collected data, and sought support from trusted peers, mentors, family, friends. So as you navigate this new chapter of your life, I want you to know that even if it may not feel like it, you have all the skills already that you need to land in exactly the places you want and need to be in life. You are scientists. You're trained to question. Question information and sources, question others, question yourselves. You're trained to then collect data. Get the information you need to make the best possible decisions for your life and not just in the lab. Read scientific literature, read others' opinions and interrogate those opinions. Write down what you think you should do and then revisit it. And finally, your training here at CSU, alongside such talented fellow students and faculty, has taught you to seek support. Talk to your family, talk to your friends, and seek out new people and new perspectives to support you in your journey. You know how to do all these things already because you've been doing them here throughout college. Trust that you can leverage these same skills to make all the decisions you need to in your life. From the big ones, what job you'll have, who you might partner with if you want to have kids, how you want to vote, to the littler ones, like if you're going to drink those green juices or not. You'll question, you'll collect data, and you'll seek support. And through this scientific process for moving through your life, I trust that you'll end up exactly where you want and need to be. Thank you for listening, graduates, and a huge congratulations and best of luck.
Thank you, Dr. Koneski. I am now honored to present our Spring 2023 graduating class to President Parsons for degree conferral. The academic sector of Colorado State University is composed of 8 colleges and the graduate school. The College of Natural Sciences is composed of 8 departments, and the Bachelor of Science degree is currently awarded in 12 different majors. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree from all of our academic departments please rise? Thank you. President Parsons, I present to you these students who have completed all the requirements established by the various departments, the college, and the university for the Bachelor of Science degrees. The Faculty Council has recommended to the Board of Governors of the CSU system that these candidates receive the Bachelor of the Science degree in their respective disciplines, and the Board of Governors officially voted to confer these degrees. President Parsons.
Good morning, Rams. Good morning. It's my great honor to be the one to officially confer your degrees upon you this morning. So listen to these words, you've earned them. On behalf of and with the authority of the Board of Governors of the Colorado State University system, I hereby confer the Bachelor of Science degree on each of you, together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereunto. Let us all recognize the achievements of this wonderful group of students. Congratulations. I think you do the tassel switch. No? Yeah.
Thank you, President Parsons. An important tradition in academia is the tassel switch. It symbolizes one's transition from graduate from candidate to graduate. Before conferral of your degree, the tassel is worn on the right side of your mortarboard. Now that your degree has been officially conferred, I ask each of you to move your tassels to the left. Congratulations. In a few moments, our spring graduates will receive their diploma covers. At that time, we will also recognize those students who, through their academic achievements, have received various honors and distinctions. A few words are in order to better appreciate the accomplishments of these students. Students earning the cum laude designation have distinguished themselves through outstanding academic performance throughout their time at CSU. Their GPA is in the top 10% of their class. Cum laude is a Latin expression meaning with praise, but in this context, a more appropriate translation is with distinction. Those students graduating summa cum laude, or with highest distinction, are students in the top 1% with a GPA of 3.99 or better. Students designated magna cum laude, or with great distinction, make up the next 3% of the class with a GPA above 3.94. And those designated cum laude constitute the next 6% with a GPA above 3.83. Those students are wearing gold gowns or gold cord over a green honors gown. The University Honors Program offers a challenging and rewarding curriculum for outstanding students, with all honors students maintaining at least a 3.5 GPA. Those students are wearing green gowns and bachelor's hoods, or if in gold, they will be wearing a green cord. Will the cum laude, magna cum laude, and cum laude with honors please stand or raise your hands so that we may applaud your extraordinary accomplishments? Please be seated. Student achievement is also recognized by initiation into various honor societies, all of which require achieving and maintaining a high GPA. Our graduates are members of many societies. I ask those students who belong to an honor society to rise or raise your hand so that we can applaud your accomplishments. So honor societies, students. Please be seated. Finally, we'd like to recognize students completing the teaching licensure program. Historically, CSU graduates more science and math teachers than any other college or university in the state. May the students who are licensed as middle and high school science and mathematics teachers please rise or raise your hands so that we may recognize your dedication. Please be seated. The Dean's Office wishes to recognize those students who enrich their education in the sciences by completing a second major outside the College of Natural Sciences. The Academic Enrichment Award was established to honor these students for the breadth of education that they have achieved. Each of the students will be mailed a certificate from the Dean. Would students with a second major outside of our college please rise or raise your hand? Thank you. You can be seated. Another group the college would like to recognize is our first-generation students. First-generation students are those students whose parents have not completed a bachelor's degree. These students are a point of pride for all of us. I'm a first-generation student. Will our first-generation students and our faculty here in attendance Please stand or raise your hand so that we may applaud your success. So first generation students. Thank you. We would like to acknowledge the members of the U.S. Armed Service who are receiving their degrees today. Will you please stand or raise your hands? Thank you. Since 1870, CSU has served those who have served our nation, and we are currently home to over 1,000 student veterans, dependents, and active duty military members. Indeed, at this time, I'd also like to recognize those audience members who have served or are serving in the military. Would current, former members of the U.S. Armed Forces join us in the audience? Please stand, raise your hand, so that we may applaud your accomplishment to the nation. Thank you. Shortly, we'll begin the diploma distribution. You, our newest graduates, will be introduced by Professor Jacob Roberts and will receive your diploma covers. At that time, you'll have your picture taken, right about here, and you'll be congratulated by President Parsons, Dean Tavener, and the chair of your major department. Captain Mark Chaka and Major Jason Blantine will congratulate our ROTC graduates. Faculty from your department will greet you as you proceed off the stage. They will be over here. You will have your individual picture taken, pick up your gift from the college, and then return to your seat. And now, on to the most important part of today's ceremony. At this time, marshals, please escort our spring 2023 graduates to the platform.
In just a moment, I will present the spring 2023 graduates of the College of Natural Sciences, but first, let me make a couple of announcements. Guests attending our ceremony are reminded not to block the view of others by standing or by taking photographs at the railing, and to refrain from the use of air horns. Graduates will receive digital images from the professional photographer approximately 3 days after the ceremony. This is your commencement. We invite you to take photographs during the distribution of diplomas, but please do so in an orderly manner. Graduates will proceed across the stage by major. Honors graduates will lead each department. Graduates, if you're the first person in your major, please hand me your major sign when you reach the microphone. I will announce each new major and then each graduate's name. And now, it is with great pleasure that I present to you the spring 2023 graduates of the College of Natural Sciences, and we'll begin with the first set of majors. So we'll start by recognizing majors with a degree in biochemistry. Christian Bradley Smith. Kelly Britton. Kaya Johnston. Cherry Ann Zur. Carter Struess. Armando Avidia Fernandez. Hunter Alexander Ogg. Danielle McKenna Riley. Leah Wolfsberg. Annalise J. Peltier. Jonathan Ferry. Luke Hoffman. Grant Shandy. Cassandra Schaefer. Elsa Barcenas Ramirez. Gretchen May Fixon. Himalaya Johnson. Madison Allen. Caitlin Krager. Kelsey Lynn Biangelo. Natalie Lorene Cortez. Grace Therese Heinrich. Emma Byrne. Michaela Madge Herndon. Amelia Stocking. Ann Plum. Eric Heidprim. Manuel Alejandro Milan. Nolan Montgomery. Hannah Amma Weirdua. James Gamayanov. Laura Regina Ramirez de la Peña. Madeline Marie Buford. Alistair Hanna. We'll now recognize graduates with a degree in biological science. Julie Lynn Wall. Juliana Marie Tourville. Braden Pate. Chelsea Bell Parker. Margaret Jane Kelsall Smith. Bailey Therese Lubash. Karina Pearl Easton. Grady Dietrich. Dalton Murphy Eid. Carrie Jo Reuter. Eric Evans. Anna Gail Moore. Madison Brianna Porterfield. Allison Bordeaux. Anna Christine Longsdorf. Kalia Victoria Kodrick Saverda. Audrey Justine Bowman. Lucy Pearl Lata. Elena Payton Wolvington. Marissa Rockanova. Kyle Joseph Rainey. Julia Rose Newcomb. Amping Yu. Laura Emily Antizo. Trinity Manhattan White. Anna Maxine Waddle. Sofia Gabriela Gonzalez. Sydney Ann Collins. Jonathan Price. Catherine Ann Matsky. Kelly Grice. Avery Jade Showalter. Allison Rose Odell. Jessie Lynn Povick. Grace Emily O'Neill Linscott. David Jeffrey Shepard. Anna Marie Tietz. Christine Ann Talaga. Avery Jane Drotzy. Sierra Ann Fisher. Alexandria Gabrielle Pulich. Ella Danielle Kolpitz. Madison Taylor Browsey. Strider Ellen Underwood. Hunter Stevens. Daniel James Peterson. Lucas Michael Liebel. Jacob Fitzgerald. Alex Short. Benjamin Miller. Megan Joanne Joy Fredrickson. Alyssa Curran Schreiber. Samuel Radd. Sierra Azul Branch. Noah Pidge. Jennifer Singer. Nicholas Pock. Bryson Frank. Catherine Marie Godley. Elijah Thompson. Lauren Martin. Madison Bolete. Stormy Murray. Gordon Doeman. Teresa Marie Schultz. Jessica Elizabeth Somers. Anthony Smith. Jackson Ray DeCook. Nathan Joseph Larson. Tyler Matthew Lewis. Ferris Smorek Allen. Dalia Kopachetsky. Paulina Starr Martindale. Darius Emmanuel Masonet. Nathaniel Williams. Meredith Nicole Giddens. Kaylee Joe Johnson. Ashley Bordeaux. Nicole Lee Velez. Bryn Catherine Green. Margaret Mary Newhart. Lucas Palazzo. Megan Winters. Josephine Jelinek. Sydney Victoria Leonard. Psychology. Okay. Are you psychology? Can I just say your name? Okay. All right. We're just going to do it. Congratulations. Mackenzie Ann Bailey. Megan Marie Haberbosch. Madeline Desiree Hale. Kendall Garcia. Will Davis. Emilio Aguilera. Cameron Michael Klein. Cole Sophia Montgomery. Sarah Alexandra Nix. Victoria Ebony Mata. Carly Alexis Sides. Mackenzie Lee McCabe. Jacob Miller. Hank Millard. Camden Byers. Jeffrey Maxwell Johns Roberts. Adriana Acosta. Pablo Cesar Rosas. William Scanlon. Tony Carlson. Haley Nicole Dalrymple. Sun Ho Kwan. Josephine Lim. Shanza Mayman. Lucy Jameson. Jared Hopkins. Kai August Ray. Allison X. Goodrich. Ennio Rubio. Rebecca Leibel. Ashley Jean Raffa. Marta Gutierrez. Corey Rathburn. Emma Bonfonte. Samantha Brewer. Erica Blevins. Austin Naylor. Jordan Avarenga Marquez. Jonathan T. Christian. Justin Eric Swenson. Matthew James Hansen. Ian Cook. Carson Palmer McKee. Bridget Mary Costello. Alicia Madison Moore. Maria Isabel Castro Aguilar. Gustavo Contreras. Maritza Soto Ojeda. T.J. Anderson. Allison Margaret Pillard. Natalie Delilah Irvin. Julissa Rodriguez. Quinlan Andrew Hitnock. Atlee Emma Julia Clavin. Juliana Coletti Krinsky. Emily Kate Hutchinson. Jenna Marie Everhart. Elizabeth Key. Noah Prince. Autumn Clara Connell. Sean Cudahy. Adelina DeSantis. Kayla Jean Higgs. Maria Caroline Litzet Juarez Tostada. Emily Inez Turner. Joseph Weston Rubio. Sheridan Antison. Marisol Yvette Childress. Benjamin Basil Sakas. Larissa Bergelin. We'll now recognize graduates with a degree in chemistry. Cami Christensen. William Bullitt. Catherine Chisholm. Annalise Wiedenbeck. Patricia Moore Maloney. Nicole Marie Anderson. Jenna Salvat. Katie Ann Marshall. Genevieve Camille Holtorf. Esther Juliet van der Land Lockendebat. Mia Halliday. Keegan James Barker. Alec David Sigmar. Seamus Lauren O'Leary. Victoria Rollins. Nicholas Wakefield. John Joseph Hagan. Ray Ju Su. Casimir Perriman. Cindy Huang. We'll now recognize graduates with a degree in Applied Computing Technology. Christian Bondurant. Joshua Wallace. We'll now recognize graduates with a degree in Computer Science. Rachel Ann Masters. Alita Benya, we'll try that again. Alita Bella Danieluk. Corbin Michael Terpstra. Zachary Ross Fuller. Clay Joseph Klespis. Nathan Frederick Campbell. Andrew Ross Lyon. Daniel Benjamin Ives. Kang Dek Ho. Daniel Avram Garin. Ethan Walter Ganster. Evan Forey. Jack Sovereign. Claire Evers Cortesy. Ashlyn Lee. Grant Charles Sinclair. Christian Stewart Frazier. Maxwell Hevner. Jordan Rust. Janelle Evelier Dobbins. Samuel Aaron McKay. Logan Allen Cadman. Gavin Will. Ann Rudnick. Reese Watkins. Sheikh Diara Zupa. Carlos Anisi Flores. Theodore Willis Avery. Wesha Griffith. Jackson Henry Holden. Ian Nicholas Dunkipping. Ryan Charles Griffin. Marta Lee Selig. Justin Scott Stransky. Daniel Recor. Taryn Nicole Gable. Federico Alberto LaRue. Abdullah Ahmad Mutafar Arawani. Austin Kibler. Andrew Nelson Durr. Garrett Michael Samantana. Grayson Cutler Sakino. Rachel Ann Wagner. William Gannay. Alexander Scott Waddell. Alex George Carduna. Aiden Douglas Adair. Victor Berggren. Noah Floyd. Dylan Keith Whitehurst. Ian Alistair Dutt. Benjamin Henry Safra. Christopher Craig Gaskill. Thomas Elston. Navina Masok. Junior Martin. Connor William Quick. Sophia Gerard. Daniel Robert Butcher. Zachary Tanner Lowe. Lucas Kerr. Nicholas Duncan. Dylan Michael Swanson. Bryce Hiragoyen. Preston Krieger. Garrett Henry Schleich. Matthew Paul Brenton. Carson Dwayne Gotch. Lindsay Larson. Abigail Sarah Williams. Christian Douglas Carnahan. Benjamin Jurenka. Jacob Michael Ritz. Zachary Austin Keeler. Camden McGinnis. Jonathan Gustavo Guzman. Alexander Glimko. Clayton James Porter. Dylan Neerman. Parker Wyatt Jackham. Jacob Ryan Faulkner. Mason Fout. Aaron Lawrence. Madeline Claire Reynolds. John McFall. Chloe Burke. Raina Nanto. Samuel Fales. William Lukovich Price. Ethan Patrick Gill. Cole Blakeborough. Sean Carter Murphy. Christopher Tyler Lucas. Andrew Claude Bevlume. Robert Joshua Rollison. Cameron Michael Brightwell. Ilyan Dimitrov. Benjamin Andrew Layler. Matthew Bergquist. Patrick May. Shannon Lee. Chris Bucky. Caitlin Petrucci. Brianna Michelle Bright. Dawson Shin. We'll now recognize graduates with a degree in data science. Ryan Christopher Marquardt. Evan Fitchner. Quentin Edward Crum. Luke Allen White. Silas Peregrine Wonder. Ethan Alexander Powers. Jory Alvis. Sophie Grace Jacobic. Marissa Jean Marie Ellingson. Christine Marie Wiggins. Hermela Destro Durebo. Chenghong Song. We'll now recognize graduates with a degree in mathematics. Andrew Worth Holmes. Liliane Nguyen. Kayla Beverly Hendrickson. Shu Huai Chin. Nicole Hazel Miller. Elisa Kim Leon Mead. Nicholas Credental. Jessely Rivera Castillo. Jedediah Tulu. Anthony Michael Keyong Min Rodriguez. Maya Pachkowski. Tyra May Phillips Marler. David Cott. Avery McChrystal. Kinsey Berkman. Stefania Ariel Jimmy Strumopool. Lucas Garrett DeSaltas. Sylvia Rose Robles. We'll next recognize graduates with a degree in natural sciences. Oh, yeah. Emma Victoria Zalak. William Vladimir Ulloa. Nathaniel Cook. Oliver Martin Woody. Madeline Marie Koenigsieger. Jackie Esquivel Armeniandaris. Emily Filatov. We'll next recognize graduates with a degree in physics. Samantha Olson. Michael Mays Collum. Scott Johnson. Congratulations. Ryan London McCoy. Sarah Abdulrahman Aldobaid. We'll next recognize graduates with a degree in psychology. Kira Lynn Sturgis. Kay Lee Maria Bobadilla. Mihika Sodani. Mary Bell. Kylie J. Smith. Jason Sadowski. Emmeline Elise Garner. Megan Ann Perchik. Michael Robert McGimsky. Sharon Nichols. Priyadarshini Mylene Williams. Jessica Franson. Rachel Elizabeth Rotten. McCarley McCown Weiser. Grace Heiner. Claire Elizabeth Kraus. Hannah Marie Fody. Alyssa Catherine Bannister. Emily Bauer. Trenton Marbois. Autumn Faith Sorrentino. Madison Elizabeth Neighbors. Aaron Jean Kaminsky. Nicholas Ross Kelly. Walter Haas Sparling. Sierra Brooke DeMondo. Maeve McKiernan. Nadia Marie Sokshin. Kate Alyssa Beasley. Sabrina Jewel Terrell. Casey Ann Terhorst. Autumn Grace Charette. Liesel Zilkena. Willem Hakax Bosne. Jaden David Conkle. Tasia Marie Meeks. Hayden Patrick Mueller. Tyler Gregory Nickel. Patrick Francis Shamus. Jocelyn Shao. Taya Lebentag. Bethany Fumiko Hurichi. Thomas Adam Moratella. Carolyn Macy Schultz. Krista Nicole Mott. Hannah Lorable Rayton. Jesse Ruremoren. Isabella Maria Verratti. Mackenzie Quinn Shepard. Corgan Leontine Bloch. Jason Zimmerman. Cody Connor. Cody Poole. Patrick David Gonzalez. Renee Gonzalez. Aspen Nicole Dulaney. Grace Marie Porter. Antonia Eve Lopez. Tate Frederick Fletcher. Samantha Schmidt-Nickman. Brianna Nicole Moylan. Allison Horvath. Devin Deschelle Mays. Robert Baker. Anna Elizabeth Crownapple. Alexandra Bath. Nancy Cecilia Caldiel Carnitas. Emma Rose Ernst. Anastasia Brooke Truchera. Rachel Lily Anna Weiss. Ella Sophia Churchwald. Casey Brown. Riley Frankowski. Luis Cordova. Brisa Morales. Brian Jimenez Frade. Joshua Charles Nelson. Mulaney Milligan. Amanda Sargent. Alexandra Robinson. Perry Freeman McKeon. Leonardo William Portal. Trevor Michael Reed. Ella Foster Gross. Charlotte Jules Boker. Mary Lynn Larson. Emma Christine Bonka. Jessica Dale Balich. Ava Brazelton. Stephen Reed Kellum. Cameron Frost Harms. Madison Lynn Salazar. Gabriella Lee Brown. Haley Catherine Mulheisen. Faith Erica Lee. Elise Alessandra Robb. Jackson Douglas Hubler. Alexis Aria Willard. Cameron Ryan O'Keefe. Cecilia Ann Lucia. Nicolette Scher. Stephanie Ray Garno. Adam Vasquez. Jacoby Paul Villamaria. Jessica Elizabeth Hopkins. Emily Christensen. Joshua David Reed.
It's Richard Clive Bowster.
Richard Clive Bowster. Lauren Elizabeth Broody. Zara Yael Pisano. Aiden Michael Crane. Nolan Thomas Gillis. Anna Irene Greenway. Vanessa Fuentes Pachero. Emin Becker Sutki. Natalie Soprino. Caroline Ann Craycraft. Karina Olive. Grace Mary Miller Forrest. Lily Ann Rhine. Veronica Rose Breferi. Jocelyn Serraro Zapata. Abigail Catherine Bryan. Rachel Daphne Gurich. Claudia Annalise Burgess. Hida Bhakta. Maggie Quinn McGee. Jewel Valley. Anna Grace Moore. Haley Ann Kirsten Plott. Richard Steinkamp. Grace Fallon Wright Redard. Kayla Ray Ruck. Samantha Alexis Lassis. Lindsay Renee Swords. Tyler Morgan Rouse. Brianna Jade Cobb. Jordan Lee St. Pierre. Catherine Alexis Carroll. Curran Alishan Dengler. Damon Taylor. Olivia Meyer. Paige Ashlyn True. Mackenzie Grace Turner. Smriti Makaske. Mason Abby Keene. Michaela Rose Armijo. Lauren Michelle Amont. Hannah Jane Sauerland. Brooke Amber Stratton. Camille Griffith. Olivia Sennen. Noah William Steger. Daniela Lentini. Mary Kathleen Sinsel. Molly Ann O'Brien. Makada Tayatu Ephraim. Kenley Rose Westcott. Sequoia Israel Olson. Yuselin Marquez. Maya Wolberg. Addie Sykes. Destiny Castro. Uriel Diaz. Nicholas Parker Stone. Gethsemane Ruiz. Aria Fliss Chen. Catherine Kalakati Reddy Fouts. Connor Thomas Hodis. Carson James Nyola Miyachi. Grace Elizabeth Arts. Julia Heather Jackson. Thomas Dixon. Amy Hine. Aubrey Anna Nelson. Henan Asugdam. Leslie Diaz. Jalen Champion. Ruth Ashley Swain. Kai Celeste. Lucas Bench. Ryan Myers. Sierra Phillips. Kobe Corio. Emily Elizabeth Russo. Isabella Grace McGuire. Jonathan Comer Zimmerman. Valeria Marquez. Herbert Alberto Martinez. We'll next recognize graduates with a degree in statistics. Jin Peng. Ella Rose Martinez. McKenna Marie Hogan. Caden Ott. Isabel Charlotte Munsell. Jewel Jamila Mabo. Sarah Ashley Threckle. Cameron Manley. Frandy Ho. Just give me a second to do. We'll next recognize graduates with a degree in zoology. Hunchi Yan. Ziling Wang. Casey Nicholas. Caden Somlaska. Ian Carlo Rivera Matos. Allison Hazy. Avery Hunter. Brian Hallstrom. Michaela McNabb. Brielle Lorraine Greener. Riley Elizabeth Pari Masia. Caitlin Marie Davis. Brooke Alexis Aguilar. Morgan Sidney Billow. JC Linnea Stamps. Brianna White. Elizabeth Ray Swanson. Emily Ann Lang. Bryce Emma Armour. Paige Elizabeth Gifford. Faith Glaze. Ivy Trinity Sosa. Maya Taruko Voitsberger. McKenna Marie Neal. Nathaniel Ooms. Kylie Brianna Rude. Savannah Lane Dinson. Robin May Lemke. Harley Sora. Nathan Morse. Brittany Nicole Ramos. Autumn Lynn Quinteros. Thomas John Rad. Bailey Marie Sloan. Nicole Mega Marie Clancy. Meredith Veronica Peck. Maya Nicole McColenzik. Natalie Rose Beck. Hunter Rose Dow. Sarah Schweitzer. Maela Skoronik. Sarah Zhao. Rebecca Grace Wilson. Olivia Grace Marks. Michaela Deanne Seth. Anaya Rice. Kira Nicole Matrasimone. Bailey Kathleen Gentili. Allison Grace Oshner. McKenna Nicole Willis. Trevor Allen McCullough. Cassandra Ann Scotchfield. Sean Michael Schultz. Kim Ann Marina Gorin. Destiny West Danks. Mary Grandstrom. Faith Janelle Lawson. Maritza Ashley Morales. Valerie Alonso. Marissa Lynn Rawald. Emma Rubenstein. Shay Lutz. Genevieve Catherine Bach. Kendall Bush. Rachel Francois Sylvestre Newman. Kaylee Ann Ross. Ashley Perry. Cheyenne Grace Carter. Ryan Clark Jordanelli. May Rochelle McCready. Kaiser Fleischhacker. Faith Sol Young. McKenna Karpunen. Catherine Ann Tatka. Shelby Irene Mumi. Hannah Mary Teedy. Paisley Mather. Frida Rachel Reyna. Josie Baldwin. Bailey Leah Rounds. Cole Donovan. Gabby Jenneth Perlar. Kimberly Roebuck. Jennifer Tavasoli. Leon Liu. Ediola Bowolatafe Olaja.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lisa Disleski, and I serve as the Associate Dean for Undergraduate Programs in the college. I am also a graduate of Colorado State University. I'm sure you're excited and proud to have reached this point. We have observed the strength and resilience with which you rose to the challenge of earning your degree, particularly through the pandemic, and we are so proud of you. Remember that our most difficult challenges are the ones that expand our potential and unite those that overcome those obstacles together. Some of you may be feeling a little sentimental or a little bit nervous about taking that next big step, moving away from what may have been some of the greatest times in your life so far, time spent at CSU. But it is now that you begin writing your next chapter, tackling your next big adventure, and living your purpose. Each one of you came to CSU from a different place, and each one of you has a different future ahead. But no matter what happens, you all have one very important thing in common with each other, and with more than 250,000 others out there who have come before you. You are all alumni of Colorado State University. So while you may be leaving this campus, be assured your university will not leave you. Your department and college, your professors and advisors, and the CSU Alumni Association will continue to be here for you every step of the way. I am happy to be the first to welcome you to the alumni family. Congratulations on a job well done, and go Rams.
Education is the most powerful weapon with which you can change the world. These inspiring words were spoken 20 years ago by President Nelson Mandela. While many things have changed in the past 2 decades, this quote is as relevant today as it was when it was first spoken. As many of you know, President Mandela led the country of South Africa through a time of immense challenges. It can be said today that we face many challenges as a nation and as a world. Education is the key to meeting our challenges head-on and creating a better future. Congratulations, graduates. Today we are celebrating you and the education you have worked so hard to achieve. This education will be your foundation for your future careers, the foundation from which you will change the world. Today, looking at our graduate class, I am more confident than ever that we will not only overcome these challenges, but the people in this room will help lead the innovations we need for decades to come. My confidence stems from the knowledge that what our amazing CSU alumni have achieved. As the dean of this college, I have had the opportunity to meet many of our remarkable alumni. I am always inspired by the stories they tell of how their education at CSU set them on the path for their careers. It is gratifying to see the profound impact that CSU graduates have. I am looking forward to hearing your stories of how you used our education to change the world. You've accomplished something remarkable, and it is true, as is true of all accomplishments in life, you have not gotten to this place on your own. This room is full of people who share in the accomplishments you are celebrating. This, with due respect to the graduates, is my favorite part of these ceremonies. I would like you to take a minute to address the family and friends who are here today. Your support and guidance of these students has been critical to their success. We are forever grateful for the gifts you have given and the sacrifices you have made for our students, all of which has led us to this moment. Will the parents, partners, family, and friends assembled here please stand or raise your hand so we may recognize all you have done for our graduates. Thank you all. There are two things that our speaker, Liz Koneski, has said that resonated with me. First of them is for you to think about your futures and what you want to do. And every step along the way, think about what your future holds and where you want to be in it. The other part that resonated with me was to keep in contact with the friends that you have made at CSU. I know that I have kept in contact with the 8 others that I shared a house with during my graduate school. Every month, we have a conversation together via Zoom, and that's one of the favorite parts of my month. So think about the friends you have made here and staying in contact with them. I would also like to take a moment to recognize a special group of people. Today is Mother's Day. Mother figures come in all shapes and forms. And so on this day, I would like to extend a thank you to the mothers, mother figures, and mothers at heart in the rooms. For my closing remarks, I would like to borrow the words of author Henry David Thoreau and share a quote that I hope you will carry with you as you leave this room. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you have imagined. Congratulations to our graduating class of 2023.
Okay, just a little bit more business here. There are a number of people I'd like to thank for making today's ceremony possible. First, thank you to the college staff, our student employees, and our tireless announcer, Dr. Jacob Roberts. He's got a great voice, doesn't he? I also want to thank our faculty marshals, Dr. Steve Benoit from the Department of Mathematics, Dr. Ed Deloche from the Department of Psychology, and Dr. Joseph DeVerde from the Department of Chemistry, Dr. Martin Gelfand from the Department of Physics, and Dr. Carlos Olvio Delgado from the Department of Chemistry. Thanks also to our soloists, Michaela Fitzpatrick, as well as the talented ensemble. Thanks to our interpreters, McKenna Bridges and Terry Marsh, who translated our ceremony into sign language. And thanks again to our platform party and faculty. Please look to the screens around the arena for the lyrics, stand, or raise your hand and join us while we sing the CSU Alma Mater. Michaela Fitzpatrick will lead the singing.
Hail to thee, our alma mater, Colorado State. Memories are everlasting of this place so great. May the green and gold unite us, loyal ever be. Colorado State, our alma mater, hail, hail to thee.
Okay, I'd like to ask the members of the audience to please remain seated until the platform group, faculty, and students have left the auditorium, so you can sit if you like. Please meet your graduate students outside the building. Photographers will be circulating outside the auditorium to capture additional photographs of our graduates with their family and friends. The grad images staff will be wearing red vests, so they'll be highly visible and easy to locate. Find a photographer in a red vest and take some friends and family photos. Graduates, please remain seated until the platform party has completely exited the room. The marshals will direct you to exit the floor at the appropriate time. Congratulations, class of 2023. Enjoy the rest of this special weekend with your family and friends.
Thank you.